In this video, we will demonstrate how to use a Redfish-like API to control functionalities on NMC. First, we will show how to power on device via NMC using the NMC Redfish API. On the right side of the screen is the command prompt. Meanwhile, on the left, you can see the NMC Redfish data displayed on the web page. On this page, we can see all the detailed information of the device OAPCD0815. Currently, the device is powered off. Next, we will call the Redfish API to power on this device. Let's begin by inputting the reset type for the power cycle as power on. Following a successful response from the server, we'll move ahead with the next command to kickstart the power cycle. After waiting a while, we notice that the device's fan has started rotating, indicating that the device has powered up. A quick refresh here shows us that the power state has transitioned from off to on. With a simple curl command, we can get a similar power on message straight from the server. Next, in the second part, we will demonstrate how to enable the sensor monitor and view sensor readings using NMC Redfish API. Initially, we're setting the sensor monitor to update every 5 seconds to get readings regularly. After setting the parameters, we enable the sensor monitor. With the sensor monitor on, we go to the OAPCD0815 data page to click the sensor link. On this page, we'll find 6 different sensor info types, showcasing CPU stats, like temperature, fan speed, and voltage, plus memory and network data. Taking the CPU fan as an example, we can dive into all its details, including the current speed of 1465 RPM. Since the node updates the readings every 5 seconds, we'll just reload the page to spot any changes. And there you go. It's now at 1468 RPM. A quick refresh, and the value drops a bit to 1457 RPM. Similarly, we can use curl commands to get the latest CPU fan speed readings. As the page refreshes, the fan speed has fluctuated to a current reading of 1474 RPM. In the third part, we're diving into monitoring features, spotlighting how to track events like sensor or ACPI events. First, we will introduce how to use the NMC Redfish API to enable sensor event monitoring and fetch those events. We input commands to enable the sensor event for the OAPCD0815 node. Just as before, we're including the node ID and setting the sensor event to on in the data body. Next up, sending over log service commands shows us 2 available event log services, ACPI and sensor. We can check out the types and contents of these log services on the website too. After clicking, we can access the log list for sensor events. We can grab this data using commands as well. Now, we'll manually slow down the fan speed by hand to trigger a sensor event. Once completed, we will see a couple of new entries popped up in the sensor event log, indicating that there were abnormalities in the fan speed before it returned to normal. Next, we will explore another monitoring feature about ACPI events. First, disabling the current sensor event monitor and then enable the ACPI event monitor. Let's check out the existing ACPI event logs. We can also find a list of the recent ACPI event logs displayed on the ACPI log entries page. Next, we'll hit the device's power button to trigger an ACPI event. Afterward, we can resend commands to access the latest ACPI event list. Spotlighting the generated ACPI, S0 and S5 events from the abnormal power cycle. We can also click to view individual entries for more details.
Next, we will demonstrate how the automated scripts, packaged using Artillery, call the Redfish APIs. And we use the sensor monitor as an example. On the right, you can see that by setting up an automated script, it will automatically configure parameters to enable the sensor monitor through the Redfish API and continuously call the API to get sensor readings. We can see that each GET request retrieves the sensor's readings. With Artillery, we can package the necessary Redfish APIs into various applications that fit different use cases.
In the next video, we will demo how to efficiently manage and upload firmware and certificates using the Redfish API.